You're listening to Nice-ish, a podcast about reality TV and your opinions, with your hosts, Cindy and Grace.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 53 of Nice-ish. I'm Grace, and I'm here with my co-host and mom, Cindy. Mom, I'm shocked you're here today, that you weren't emotionally scarred and were able to participate.
I am. I don't understand. I am a magnet for these horrible things in the middle of the night.
Would you like me to explain what happened, or would you like to?
I can.
Okay.
I don't get it, though. It's so stupid. I had another bug incident, although this time it was an ant.
So scary.
I was still awake, and it ran across my chest. Now, for those of you that think maybe we're unclean or we have a dirty house, whatever, we've been having a ton of rain lately.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's going on. Anything that lives underground or whatever has been popping up in my bed. So it's really stupid, too, because, like, when I was a real young kid, like I would say 5 or 6, I remember my mom saying to me, I'd been having nightmares or something. And she's like, why don't you just take your finger and give your pillow like the sign of the cross? Just put a little cross on it and that'll bless your pillow, which means it'll bless your thoughts and, it'll protect you. Mm-hmm. So to this day, even though I don't go to church, I'm not a practicing Catholic, any of that stuff, I still do that. I've done it for this long. It's just something I do.
You've told me to do that too.
Yeah,
it's funny.
It's habit. And I thought, what harm could it do, right? So I thought all this time God was protecting me. My faith has been shaken deeply.
I understand. Yeah, because now it's built on lies.
It is.
That entire foundation there.
I mean, what am I blessing my pillow for if I could get spiders and then literally an ant on my chest? Did I kill it? Yes, I killed it. I killed it several times.
On your chest, or did it fly off?
Everywhere. No, I flung it off my chest, like kind of whipped it off.
Yeah.
Grabbed my phone, got my light on. It couldn't go anywhere, and then smashed it to pieces. But I don't know. This is just horrifying. I haven't slept well in 10 days. Mm-hmm. Maybe longer. I don't know if I'll ever sleep again.
I love your description of like, you're going to bless your pillow, but then you're going to smash the ant to pieces.
Why? It's one of God's creatures or some stupid shit like that?
Yeah. I would smash it to bits too. I don't care about killing a bug or whatever. I don't need to get a paper towel.
You're not Carlton?
No, I'm not. Yeah. Kill the bee.
No, I mean, if it's between me or the bug goes. I'm sorry. It was on my bed, on my person. I'm like, no, I'm not going to let it live. I need to make sure I see it die in the toilet. This has been awful. This has really been awful.
Yeah. I get how that would mess with your head, because then you feel like everything's crawling on you.
Yes. And we've just had too much rain, and we had a ton of rain yesterday too.
Yeah.
So I don't know. But anyway, it's been awful. You can send flowers if you'd like. Oh, no, don't. Bees like flowers.
Bugs like So let's get into the Valley. I know that we always talk about Jax. He's kind of like our talking point for everything. I realize there are more people on the cast, but we just gravitate towards him because we hate him so much.
Because he's in the middle of everything.
Literally. Yeah. Even though he wasn't on a couple episodes, he's in the middle of everything. Yeah. How do you do that?
I know.
So obviously he's the biggest mess. All the drama revolves around him, but he gets out of rehab. He goes out with the guys, including Jesse, Danny, and Jason. Mm-hmm. And this is kind of what we're going to talk about from that episode, is this scene in particular. Okay. Because this is the scene that made me the most aggravated and angry.
I would agree. Because Danny went into this not knowing he was going to get hit with a 2x4.
Uh-huh. It would appear to me, I don't know if it does to you, that Jason clearly filled Jackson on everything that was going on with their current feud with Danny and Nia.
Yes.
So Jax knew about it. Immediately as they're sitting there talking at dinner about everything, you would have thought he was there.
And all he knew was Jason and Janet's side. He didn't know anything about the other side.
No. So it just really turned into, let's all gang up on Danny. Let's all pile up on Danny. And even went as far as to say that he was an alcoholic.
That shocked me.
Like the literal word alcoholic was used by Jason, saying that, well, an alcoholic doesn't have to drink every day, which I don't really know where you're getting that from. So I don't know about that, but
I don't know. I just think you cannot diagnose somebody like that. You can't throw that word out.
And it really kills me. And it clearly did with you too, because you posted about it.
Well, I mean, Jax is out day one of rehab.
Yeah.
You're coming at Danny when you have a guy sitting in front of you that has admitted to being addicted to cocaine and alcohol.
I know, and we're all throwing him a dinner. Like, what for what? Doing the
And you know what he
bare
did?
minimum?
He
And
was
you
sending
didn't, yeah.
rage texts. He was doing all kinds of shit, spying on
Right.
Brittany. But yet Danny's the problem?
Like, give me a
I'm
break.
getting pissed all over again.
Oh. So you had posted, Jason and Jax think Danny is worse than Jax. Jason calling Danny an alcoholic. It's so funny. Whenever I read the words Jason and Jax, I have to tell my brain that they're two different people because Jason is Jax.
Right.
Like, it's a different name.
Right.
But we had actually gotten 3 replies that I thought were pretty good. So I'm going to read those 3 and then we'll talk about all 3. The first one was from Mary Masculine, who said, that dinner made me feel sick. Jax and Jason are awful. I didn't think Jason could stoop that low, but he seemed to love doing it. If he was actually concerned his friend had a drinking problem, he wouldn't gleefully discuss it at dinner and ridicule him. Lost so much respect.
I absolutely agree. I think at one point I saw a smirk on Jason's face. Mm-hmm. Like, how can you be enjoying this?
I know. I don't know. It was pretty sad. And now we know, too, that Jason has called him an alcoholic. Janet said that Nia was in AA. They didn't show that. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, what are the two of you doing?
I don't know. And Jesse sat there like a bump. I mean, he didn't say much at all. And poor Danny, again, was blindsided. It was appalling that these 3 guys you think are your friends.
And how does Jax have any leg to stand on? Actually, he always says that, I don't really have a leg to stand on, but
right.
I'm like, no, stop it right there.
He
stop
says
your
that
opinion
afterwards.
there. I know, right?
No, it was awful. It was absolutely awful to watch.
The next post that we're going to talk about is from Sid, CYD, who said, Jax is deflecting, and Jason has been so brainwashed by Janet. She has a one-track mind. He said he was happy Jax was back in a way that sounded like, we need you here because of Danny. I always thought Jason was a really nice guy. Now I can't stand him. I hope he and Janet get fired. And they tagged Andy in that post too, so...
I've seen a lot of posts that have said fire everyone with J names. So I guess that would include Jasmine, but
she's the stray. That's okay. She caught it. It's sorry.
Yeah, mainly Jax, Jason, and Janet, but
and Jesse's included.
Oh my
in there
God!
too.
Well, we can't do that.
God, losing half the cast.
Yeah, no, we need some sort of conflict, but I just think the conflict that we usually enjoy is very snarky shit.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy watching Jesse call his ex or soon-to-be ex-wife a whore. Mm-hmm. I don't enjoy Jax tormenting Brittany with, watching her on cameras and all that and sending her rage texts. I don't enjoy that.
And then lying about it.
Yes. And then, honestly, Jason and Janet on this witch hunt trying to get the audience to label Danny an alcoholic. It's appalling.
It is, and I don't really understand what they're doing either, because you're actually making fans not like you even more.
Right.
Because now everybody's like, whoa, you're going really, really hard here. Because at first when the season started, I was like, oh, Danny, really? Like
Yeah.
you know, like you did that to Jasmine. That sucks. And then as it keeps going on, I'm like, ow. I mean, I'm literally doing a complete 180 on this entire season because you guys are so awful.
Well, the interesting thing is everybody used to hate Janet but love Jason.
Yeah.
And now he's thinking, I'm going to bring my wife back. I'm going to get fans to like Janet. And it's the exact opposite. Now we hate you. Mm-hmm. Well done, pal.
Yeah, I know, right? You were the likable one in the couple, and now we hate both of you. So now you have no reason to be here because we all hate you.
Exactly.
It's so stupid. I don't know why they don't read things that fans say and take some of it to heart a little bit.
Well, didn't Jason say on Watch What Happens Live that the only people that didn't like Janet were like 50 people on Reddit?
I know. I think he said 4, but I'm like, you're giving a really low number here, buddy.
Well, 50's low as well.
50, because it's everybody.
Yeah, no, he's delusional if he thinks that.
And then the last post that we'll talk about is from Lee, who said, like, be fucking for real. That man is a father of 3 kids under 4 years old with a wife who's pressing him like mad for another child. I'll be damned if he's not allowed to throw some back when he's in an environment with his friends.
I agree. Every time we see Danny at home, he's either folding laundry, trying to put kids down for naps, probably making dinner. He helps a lot with Nia. He's afforded that by just doing voice work. Like, it doesn't seem like he's got a 9-to-5 type job. Mm-hmm. So they clearly work between the two of them at this schedule, and both of them are exhausted.
Yeah.
So I agree. When he's out with friends, your friends are supposed to be your safety net. Mm-hmm. And that is not this group, which is ironic because all of them drink a shit ton.
Yeah, I agree too. It's like he's not out here drinking every single night, going to get shit-faced and coming home, and it's like your kids have to see it, this, that, and the other. Like, and him and Nia discuss what they want privately.
Yes.
And I just hate the narrative that Janet and Jason are putting out there that he was blacked out drunk that last episode. He was sitting there. What are you talking about?
He was talking to them all, and then when he was leaving, he explained exactly what happened.
Right.
That's not blackout, you idiots.
No. So it's like they just twist it. And then Jax, I heard this episode, or was it this episode or last episode, how he was like, well, I'm willing, if it's not me, like, we'll talk about whoever.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like,
yeah, and then Danny gave an interview to Variety, I think, saying he called Jax when he heard that Jax was kind of, saying shit about him. And Jax is like, look, I don't want the heat on me, so I'm giving it to you. You're fake. And he's like, what the fuck, dude? Yeah. So they're not in a good place either.
Nobody's in a good place with Jax.
Well, Danny's having problems. Him and Nia are having problems, and their only true friends seem to be Dodie and Luke. And Zach. Zach's got a heart of gold.
I know. All that he was doing for Brittany and all them, too. Yeah, he's a real ride or die.
Right. But they all drink a lot.
They all do, yes. And that actually leads me into my next point. We see in the sneak peek that Janet and Nia and Kristen, I think, kind of all get into this big fight. They're at a dinner, and Janet's like, you can get out, basically. Take your to-go box or whatever. They're all at dinner. And then Janet's going to apologize to Danny and Nia and blame it on having too much to drink.
Can you believe that?
I was floored when I saw that trailer. I thought, is this bitch for real right now?
Yeah.
You have been literally labeling Danny an alcoholic, and now you're going to say, oh, sorry for what I did. I was drinking too much.
Yeah, no. You can't use that.
Ever.
You can't use that excuse. It's not going to work for you.
No.
Unbelievable. She is such a shit. I can't stand her. I can't believe she had the nerve to say that.
I know, right? Well, it was funny, too, because they used that, Brittany and her, I think, both used that earlier in the season when they were talking to Nia and they were all together. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, we're all sitting around a table talking about Danny's drinking, and you're going to say, I drank too much.
Well, it's funny. I read a comment to someone who was responding to me. I wish I got their name, who said, "Oh, sorry, I called you an alcoholic while I was drunk," and I just laughed because I thought that's exactly it.
Right.
Unbelievable. She's just the worst. Oh my God, she's the worst.
Do you think that Janet and Jason need to go, though? Are you leaning towards it? Like, obviously, we know that Jax is like, we want him gone. He deserves to be fired, all that type of stuff. But how do you feel about the two of them then?
No, I really honestly think they should stay. I think they're too ingrained in this friend group. They all hang out. I will say, if anyone had to go, I think it would be Michelle.
Oh, yeah?
I just find her as flat as,
Yeah.
I don't know, what's flat?
Bored?
Yeah, okay. Well, speaking of bored, I'm bored with her too. She's boring. I think she's unlikable. I don't think Jesse is by any means a good guy.
No.
I think he's terrible, but Michelle just reads so boring. And you know what else? I don't want her creepy boyfriend on the show either.
Eyes bulging out. God.
He just always looks surprised.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe he was surprised when Jesse confronts him in this next episode about, did you, cheat on me with my wife, that type of deal.
Yeah.
So,
well,
he looked guilty, I can tell you that.
You had said to me earlier in the day, what do you think the lines will look like for Janet and Jason at BravoCon?
Oh, yeah, I did say
and
that.
I thought that was kind of interesting. Like, will people just go over because they want to meet someone on the show? Mm-hmm. Or will no one go over and be like, you need to see how it feels when nobody is your fan?
Well, think about it this way. If you have to choose between the line between Danny, Luke, Nia, and Kristen all for a photo op, or you can go to Jason, Janet, Michelle, and maybe Brittany's in there. I don't know.
Right. Well, that line would be incredibly long.
I know.
So people might go to the other line just because, like,
you're my second choice.
Yes. You're my last choice, but nobody's over here.
Right. Yeah. So I'm wondering how that will go. Pictures, if anybody is there, send pictures of proof that it's not that long.
Please tag us in it if you go to BravoCon and there's no one in their lines, because that would be hilarious.
Let's get into Real Housewives of Miami.
Sure.
We're going to talk about Lisa and Larissa's fight.
Okay.
But before we do that, the honorable mention is Alexia shit-talking Todd this episode.
Wow. She really did, didn't she?
She went in, man. She was not holding back at all.
No, she wasn't.
You had posted, Alexia said Todd didn't like the show or the way he was portrayed last season. As awful as Todd is, if he didn't like that, dude is gonna hate this season.
Can you imagine? Like they're together now, or on and off, whatever.
On and off.
And he's sitting there with his arm around her on the couch watching this episode. She lets it all fly. She spills all the tea.
Right. Well, they probably had sex first, and then they watched the episode together, and that's when he left. Yeah, they dumped her again. Oh, God. But, I mean, Alexia, she was all over the place. So she says that, she's still in love with him, but then she shit talks him. She mentions the fake rented apartment and rented car.
She says fake for both. Fake rented apartment and fake rented car. Are you serious? So Adriana was right all along.
Yeah. Well, you would think that she would say that Adriana's right. She does not. On Watch What Happens Live, she was asked that question, obviously, by Andy. And she's like, Adriana was wrong about Todd's finances last year.
How could she be?
Wow, you just confirmed it.
Right? You confirmed it on the show, talking to Marisol and all of your friends at the We Hate Todd dinner.
Exactly. So, yeah, Alexia's just all over the place.
She's trying to save face.
Yeah.
She embarrassed him. He's super pissed. I guarantee you he's super pissed.
Oh,
so now she's coming on trying to do some damage control, which she shouldn't have to do. He was a bag of shit.
Yeah.
but she's still in love with him for
God knows,
whatever reason.
Right.
And so now she's trying to backtrack, and it's just not going to fly. Well, also on Watch What Happens Live, I was watching it, and we were watching it late, and I remember tweeting out saying, oh, okay, so Alexia and Todd are still together. And then someone's like, just wait. I'm like, oh, what does that mean? 5 minutes later, she's like, Todd and I are on a break. We're not currently together. Like, what? You literally just said you were dating. What does that mean? And then Andy's like, well, when's the last time you had sex? Months ago? And she goes, months? No, try days.
Like, what are you doing?
So he's literally watching the episodes, and they are breaking up and getting back together. They're like Marcus and Larissa.
Oh, God.
And they're fake breakups.
They're fake. And I did actually look it up, too, because I wasn't sure if they were really divorced or not, or if they were just separated.
We talked about that last episode.
Yeah, I wasn't sure, and they are divorced.
Yes.
Like, officially, so I wasn't...
I think it was in March.
Yes, yeah, so...
Officially divorced. We don't really know why. It can't be that he just looked like an ass on the show. Can it?
Can it be that much of, like, you
or
were
does
that
he have
embarrassed?
that big of an ego that, he's like, I'm not doing it.
I kind of hope it's that reason, because I think it's funny. But I don't think so. I think there's got to be other stuff. So now we'll get into the actual, like, part of the episode that we're going to talk about, which is Larissa and Lisa. This was so friggin' uncomfortable. Oh, my God. So just a reminder from last week, Larissa called Lisa a bitch because they were still kind of talking to her ex, Marcus Jordan, and she was pissed that Jody had a picture with him and all that stuff.
And Lisa still followed him.
And that Lisa still followed him. So then Lisa threw Larissa out of her house, and then we'll fast forward to this week, and Lisa's going to be walking in a fashion show in Milan. Larissa was also asked to walk in the fashion show, but asked if her son could walk instead because he wanted to start modeling, so he took her place.
Right.
They somehow all ended up on the same flight. There was only one flight going out of Miami, I think, so they were all together.
So we thought that was going to be the funny part. No, once they got to the airport.
Yeah, they had a whole plane to, be apart. They were in the same car. This guy's standing out there with his little sign that says Hochstein and Pippin. And I'm just like, what? I don't know the producer who did that, who got that set up, but bravo, A+,
A raise and a plaque.
Yes.
I mean, you saw our faces. We kind of looked at each other like, oh my God, I just think it is absolutely hilarious to see the two of them walk out. And like, are you joking?
Well, what probably happened too is as they were getting off the plane, they each asking their producer like, "Oh, hey, do we have a car set up for us?" "Oh yeah, you do.
We have a camera too."
Yeah. Like, "Oh yeah, everything's set up." "Okay, great, thanks." So you had posted things I'm thinking that I would never say, but Larissa says for me. Lisa, why are you here if your father has a week to live?
Wow, I cringed.
And the response that you got back from our bestie, Mario Kiki, who also has a podcast as well with our other bestie, Leslie, called East and West with Mario and Les.
Shout out.
Yes, shout out. Mario said, "It's all in the delivery. I, a mature woman, would have said, Lisa, it confuses me that you're in Milan while also telling me your father is in his deathbed. Help me understand the misalignment. LOL."
See, that's probably part of the difference. The delivery.
Oh, yeah.
It's still pretty awful to say.
Say it all.
Regardless of if you are a mature woman or if you are Larissa. Both equally offensive, but I was thinking it. As soon as Lisa said that it was implying touch and go, like they didn't know. He had days.
ICU.
Yeah. He had days to live. I'm thinking, what are you doing? She kept talking about how Milan was all about her. And I'm like, bitch, your dad's laying in a hospital bed. Like, are you serious?
I know.
I'm sorry. I know we're not supposed to judge, but I completely judged.
Yeah.
Completely.
Well, yeah, it's just kind of like, what? Why are you here? Get out of here then. Like, you have somewhere that you need to be. You said that you were reconnecting with your father, and that's what's going to happen.
And now he's going to be taken away permanently.
Well, I looked up dates on this because I wanted to see about how close, if he really was like on his
You did a
deathbed.
deep dive. We're never prepared.
No, I know. And I know.
Good job.
That's our
Okay,
biggest flaw.
I'm dying to know.
I'm trying to change it for this next year here.
Okay, we're trying to deal in facts.
Yes.
Wow, I'm dying to know.
So the fashion show was on September 21st of 2024.
Okay.
And then Lisa's father passed away September 25th, 2024. So there was not that much time.
4 days?
Yeah, a couple days.
Oh my God.
So I don't know if she got a flight out to see him.
Or if she went shopping in
I'm
Milan.
gonna guess she didn't make it.
Well, we don't know. But wow. 4 days?
So yeah, she really wasn't kidding when she's like, touch and go there. That was very much true.
I'm sorry. That's terrible.
Yeah, I know.
I don't see. I'm judging her too. God, I'm so glad my life's not on a reality show because I would be a shitbag too. Oof. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. She didn't lie.
No, she did not. But do you think that obviously it was appropriate for her to walk in the show? Probably not.
Look, no, I don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, she kept saying too that it's all about her and this is her chance to shine and shit like that. I'm like, why do you even need that? Why do you need the
I know.
I don't know, adoration or whatever?
Well,
I
and
don't
it's
know.
like the reason why these designers ask housewives to do it is because they know that cameras are going to be
Right.
there. It's going to be all about their fashion. They can get it out there almost pretty much for free.
Well, they put out lines all the time. Could she have not said, "Look, my dad's dying, and I don't want to be in Milan in a fashion show when he passes away. Could I be in another one in the future?" Or,
or
clearly
just,
it was
I
because
can't.
simply I
That
can't.
there you
But I
go.
think it partially was probably she thought Larissa was in it. She probably had already talked with Larissa
anything.
thought Larissa was walking, and she's like, "I'm not gonna let that bitch walk," and I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm skinnier than her.
Oh, God.
I'm
Yeah.
sure she thinks that. Well, she is, but I mean, it's not like Larissa's heavy, but she's got that big ass. But I don't know. Do I think it's appropriate? No. What?
No. Where are we going?
Let's not talk about their asses.
Let's talk about Lars's big ass. Come back.
Okay.
Bogus.
No, I thought it was terrible.
Yeah, I have to kind of co-sign that. I
How
think
close
so
was
too.
she really to her
well,
dad?
Well, that's what. That was gonna be my devil's advocate kind of there. I'm like, well, she left when she was 16. I'm like,
Yeah.
was she that close? Like,
Yeah, probably
I don't know.
not. There's a little leeway. He would have wanted her to do it.
Right. It's what he would have wanted. And that's,
Exactly.
that's how you
Yes.
gotta look at it.
Oh my God.
If it makes yourself feel better, tell yourself that.
That's my motto.
So Lisa does end up walking in the show. She does not leave, even after Larsa makes this comment to her. That didn't stop her. So she does walk. Larsa's son walks too. But when Lisa comes out to walk, Larsa decides to turn on this bright ass selfie light
Oh my God.
so her and her friend can take pictures of each other as she's walking.
And Jody's sitting
Right
right
next to them.
there and can hear everything
Yeah.
while she shit talks on Lisa. I gotta say, whatever your beef is with Lisa, you're disrupting this designer's runway show too.
I would agree.
So turning that light on, I have no doubt that many, many people turned and looked at you.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can't say I would be overly impressed or ever ask Larsa again to be in the show if I were that
Yeah.
designer, because you're just letting your petty bullshit, ruin a moment of my show. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't have been happy with that at all. As I gotta say, I gasped and then I laughed. I did laugh. I'm not a fan of either politically. I'm not a fan of either their personalities.
Personality.
They're not the nicest. So I don't really feel bad when one does shit to the other.
Sure.
But Larissa is amusing to me, though. I find her funny, and I find her at her funniest when she's unintentionally funny.
Right.
Which she is. Like, I think she means to be a bitch, and it just comes off as amusing.
Yeah, see, I think that's actually where we disagree.
Oh, yeah?
I do not find her amusing.
No?
I think that it was so completely rude.
Yeah.
Especially with Jody sitting right there.
Yes, I agree.
If he did that to your son, your hands would be like on him immediately.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's just got to sit there and listen to you talk about Lisa horribly. And he wants to watch her too. You're in front of him.
Right.
So I didn't actually find it that funny. I thought it was pretty terrible. But that's just me, though.
I find Jody terrible.
Sure.
I think he was engaged before he met Lisa. Literally, I think they were getting married in like a week or 2 weeks or something crazy.
Mom,
close.
stop poking holes in my
So I
my
think
opinion.
he's garbage. I think Lisa's garbage. I think, Larissa's garbage. That's why this is all funny to me. Like, the wounds don't hurt.
Sure. Let's talk about this week's episode of Atlanta. We are going to primarily talk about Phaedra's Black Glove event. And also just little cute honorable mention to her two sons.
Oh my
They
God.
were so cute this episode.
Aiden and Dylan.
Yeah, with him designing his pants and then his older brother wanting to, be his manager. It's so cute.
They have been my favorite two Housewives kids for the longest time.
Yeah.
And they still are. They're super sweet. I mean, Aiden actually congratulated Dylan at the end of his little fashion show. It was just so sweet. I love those kids.
Yeah. So that was super cute.
Yeah.
And I love that Phaedra had her two kids there and just supported them. Like, you couldn't find the pants you wanted, so okay, make them. I'll buy you a sewing machine and see if you like it.
I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
She's like, do what you want. And he's really good at it.
I know, they look
The
good.
pants look great on him.
Yeah.
I wish I caught the website. I would have said it on here, but I was proud of them.
I know. It was cute. It was a fashion show that had fashion.
It did.
I'm taking
Not
that.
dreadful.
I am taking that because Andy said that actually on Watch Happens Live. I can't claim that I thought of that first.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
But I thought it was funny, so I'm going to say it here now.
thief.
So that was the sweet part of the night, and we'll get into the more messy part,
Messy, juicy.
which was Britt walks in and says hi to Kelly, and Kelly ignores her completely.
Not a word.
Not a word. And everybody's like kind of just staring at Kelly like, you going to say anything? And she's like, no.
And we know why. Kelly went to court. It was supposed to be the end of her marriage. She thought she would be leaving court divorced. And apparently they had 4 hours worth of time and still did not get it done. And so she's told everybody not only was she not divorced, but that her husband ended up leaving court and went directly to jail for failure to pay child support.
Yeah. God, I feel bad for her.
I feel horrible for her. I mean, that security's worth every penny because this guy is just bad news. But anyway, Britt didn't say anything. She didn't call her. She didn't text her. I mean, and Kelly's like, I sent an IV over to your house because of not pictures of you. And you couldn't even bother to text me? Like,
Yeah.
So what if we're in a fight? My God, you hugged Shamia.
I know.
And, like, wanted to do everything for her.
And Angela called Kelly, too.
I know.
Like, it really doesn't take much. You didn't
don't
even have to call her. Just text her, then send her something. Do
I
whatever.
know. Just
you
a
know?
text then.
Yeah, that's fine.
So that's why she didn't say hello.
Yeah. So stuff kind of starts kicking off with Kelly and Britt. Kelly makes a comment to Britt saying that she's living with a pill-popping roommate. So we
Mike?
thought, I guess it must mean him.
Because Britt seemed to think she was talking about her, but I'm like,
Which was really funny because then I was like, did you either not listen to her or are you just assuming that...
or are you
it's
just
that
stupid?
Right. She seems like the type of person that's thinking in her head next what she's going to say to you.
Well,
and
she had a
doesn't
doozy.
listen. Yeah, and the one that she said that she went with was that Kelly had abortions while she was married, and everybody was horrified. Like, immediately the gasps were just like, whoa, what are you doing?
That
what
was
the
just
hell?
awful. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. If you're friends with someone and they tell you something in confidence and you have a falling out, if you start spilling all of their confidential tea, you are the problem. You are garbage.
Right. So Kelly ends up saying in her confessional that she had her tubes tied after the twins, but also that it's like her body, her choice. So maybe she did. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But what? I just don't know what Britt thought she was doing with that info either. Because first of all, I don't care what you do.
All it does is make me not trust you.
Right. It has actually no effect on Kelly at all.
Right.
And what I think about Britt, which I don't like you even more now.
Right. Exactly. You can't be trusted.
So Kelly and Britt are kind of going at it, and then Angela's kind of dealing with her own stuff here too that we're finding out. She's telling all the women about this weird guy who came up to her at Kelly's Williams and Sonoma event. Kelly and Charles were doing like this waffle cook-off thing, and this man came up to Angela wanting to talk to her.
It was weird. I mean, he's like, I would like to talk to you, about your husband. And she's like, what? Where?
Who are you?
Well, we can go back here or whatever. And she's like, do I know you? He's like, no, but I know your husband. Mm. And she's just kind of like, I don't think so. And so then they're all having drinks after the event, and he takes a shot glass or something, and he's like, cheers. And he goes, your husband's having an affair.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, what the fuck, dude? What are you talking about?
Yeah, get out of here.
It was so stupid. It looked very fake.
That more than anything.
And apparently he was asked to leave by security or carried out, one or the other. But Charles didn't actually even hear it.
No, he didn't.
Which they all said was a good thing.
Uh-huh. Probably was, because he looks like he could pack a punch to this guy. Yeah,
he's a big guy. Yeah, and getting hit with a, iron skillet would not hurt.
So Angela's kind of telling the women about, after that event, what they found out, like info. They're like, oh no, we looked into this guy. Mm-hmm. We weren't going to let it go. And she was like, we found out that he was paid by some other man. Mm-hmm. We don't know who this man is yet. I have a feeling in the finale that we will find out. We do
know that it's the finale because Angela on Watch What Happens Live tonight said, we know who it is and you will find out in the finale episode. Mm-hmm. I'm dying. Who?
I know. I'm wondering if somebody in the group or if like anybody that we know
but
that's
who in the group.
I don't know.
Like, I mean, whose man would get involved? Certainly not Shamia's husband. Mm-hmm. And Kelly doesn't have one. He's in jail.
The pill-popping roommate, maybe? I don't know. Maybe it's him.
I don't know. Her and Britt are okay at the moment.
Yeah, I think they are too. I don't know.
You just want to say pill-popping roommate. I just don't know who it could be.
I don't either. So I don't know if we're going to know or if...
Yeah. Oh, you don't know if we'll know who the person is?
Yeah, which is going to be really disappointing. Like, talk about such an anticlimactic ending. I know. So we'll find all that out in the finale. And I just had to laugh, too, because Drew is always the comic relief here, and she doesn't mean to be.
Yeah.
And she just showed up late, which apparently is in Drew fashion. She always does. I love how she blamed traffic, too. She's like, oh, traffic. I'm like, everybody else is there.
I know. Everybody had the same traffic. They just left 15 minutes earlier than you.
So she and her group had to wait outside because
we
shut the door.
Her group. I think it was just anybody who came late.
Oh, you think so? I just thought that she was with all those people. You think she
showed up with 6 people?
Maybe not. Maybe that was a unfair assumption.
Right.
Yeah, she probably didn't. But so she's just waiting outside there for the security guard to let her in, but the fashion show was going on. So she's just standing out there as all of this drama is
Missed it all.
But she's out there eating a chicken wing that she got from an Atlanta police officer.
I know. But she was out there 55 minutes.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
I would have left by that time.
I know.
I'm sorry, that's the only entrance to the place?
I don't know.
I mean, you couldn't have let her in
right.
somewhere else?
Yeah. Like, just let her slip
And she started
in.
knocking, too. Like, oh, my God.
Yeah. She doesn't mean to be funny, but I find her funny. I know some people are like, why is she here? But
I've warmed up to her a lot.
I like her.
I'm coming around
Yeah.
on her. Her and Angela together, especially, are super funny. But
Yes.
I don't know. They mentioned that next week is the finale, so we'll find out everything then.
Yeah, a bunch of things are going to happen next week. Angela and Drew meet with the guy who came to Kelly's Williams and Sonoma event, saying that Charles came into his restaurant with another woman. So we'll see about that. I highly doubt this goes anywhere. Well, actually, we know that it goes nowhere because the guy shows up again, whose name is Marcus. We find out his name. And all these women are at an event. Charles is there too. He shows up and he gets escorted out. And Charles is like, get this motherfucking ass out of here. So we know that will probably be the end of Marcus.
Yes.
Showing up.
Or the end of Marcus.
Period. And then Britt and Shamia kind of have a fight about Portia and if Shamia showed Britt text messages or not from the two of them. Shamia says that she didn't. Britt's like, why would I lie about that? But I don't know. Yeah.
She's not the most credible, so
No,
we
she's
don't
not.
really know, do we?
Shamia needs to work with that.
Right.
This chick is not the most credible. You can play off that just to,
The problem is she was fairly specific when she told Portia, but how would Britt know anything about your therapist unless Shamia told her? Shamia, I don't know what she's doing.
Well, she didn't say therapist. She said something else instead. And Portia was like, no, that was my therapist, but whatever.
Right, but
So I'm
still,
like,
how would
see?
she know anything?
Yeah, I know, that's true. But, Shamia's got to play this right. Britt is not credible. She doesn't remember stuff that well. So you got to play on this.
I guess.
Thanks for listening to episode 53 of Nice-ish. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, or Threads at Nice-ish Podcast or at Love Cindy C. You can listen to Nice-ish wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Look for new episodes every Monday. Thank you for listening and have a nice-ish day.